Actually, Zen Master San, when students got married, he would do the same thing. He'd say, then soon make baby. So only two people together, that's like make a I, my, me together. If you have a baby, baby will kill your I, my, me. Or you'll kill the baby. Mentally. So also, I know your situation. I already told you, move out of your mother's house. If she's here, then make a baby. Move out and make a baby. Then everybody's happy. Yeah. I cut my hair. Yeah, parents, of course, they have their desire and what they want. And in the wedding ceremonies that we do, we say, when you get married, first obligation is help your parents. Second, your country. Third, your teachers and friends. And fourth, all beings. So we follow our parents' way, so we have obligation to help our parents. Somebody becomes a sanim, they follow Buddha's way. So obligation is to help Buddha. Buddha's job is to take care of all beings. This is a human being. If we just hold our own idea, then there will be problems always. Become independent, understand your direction, and do it. But when you get married, have obligation. Help your parents. That's the first obligation. So if we do that well, then we get happiness, they get happiness. But if we do it with resentment, then problem. So then we must see there's some I inside. So have to make your situation clear. I hear many times of people in Chinese families or Korean families, the children live at home till they're 30, 35. Maybe that can work culturally, and maybe it's fine. But many people tell to me about problems. My experience is, if you grow up, you must become independent. If you stay in family's house, they made that house, so you must follow their rules. One German student was living in Korea and working part-time, making money. Then one day he came to me and he said, I'm really angry. Oh, what you angry about? I'm angry at my parents. Why? They told me they won't give me any more money unless I go back to university. Then I said, how old are you? Then he said, 27. So I said, your parents are correct. If they're giving you money when you're 27, you should listen to them. If you make your own money and don't want to go to university, that's your business. They can have any opinion they want. So if we live in our parents' house, we have obligation to our parents. They made the house. Get your own house and invite your mother in. And give her an allowance so she can go have fun all the time. And I know mothers, make a baby. Yeah, that's really, everybody, even monks and nuns, can try to keep I. But if you try to keep I, you will run into a problem and conflicts. But if your direction is very clear, eventually other people will follow that, even family members. And if they don't, then you just have to see, okay, that's karma. But really, I hear so many times about these family problems, so it makes me wonder. We don't understand. Independent. In America, you finish high school, if you go to university and your family has enough money, they will support you. If they don't have enough money, you also work, even when you go to school. I was lucky. I worked in high school if I wanted money to go to a movie or something. And also in college, worked in the evenings. Now at the time I hated it. Now I realize I was so lucky. I learned more from working than from school. Because you have to make relationships with people. Also, nowadays in America, even when I was young, if you finish high school and don't go to university and get a job, then you give your parents some money. Because you're living in the house, you're an adult now. So if you want to stay children until you're 30 or 35, don't complain about what your mother and father expect. You decided to stay dependent on them. But if you become independent, then you can begin naturally to see each other as independent people and try as best you can to take care of their mind. So this is very important. I only say this because I hear it so much from Chinese families and from Korean families. Maybe this is Asian culture. Maybe in the past, the young people would just listen to parents, like it or not. Now there's enough oomph in younger people to say, I don't like it. But if you don't like it, become independent. Then learn how to calm down the other's mind. This is very important. Otherwise, what will happen is we'll have people grow up who are children their whole lives. And the people, the grandparents in Malaysia, in Korea, had to work very hard just to make a decent life. In Korea, the occupation, the Korean War, there wasn't even much food. Monks and nuns stopped begging because nobody had food. So those people understand the difference between only trying to satisfy myself and actually live. But young people now in many, many countries, and it was true when I was young in America, just are living for satisfaction and happiness and can't get it because that's not the most important thing. If we want satisfaction, we must understand our true nature. Then any situation we can manage with direction. So that's why we say a good situation is a bad situation, a bad situation is a good situation. When it was bad, people's direction is very clear. Work hard, try and get good food for my family, try and get a house. But you're past that. America got past that in 1950s. So I looked down a street I lived on when I was 10 years old, 1960. Very nice houses, trees, cars, very good economic situation. Not rich, but comfortable. That time, a family of 4 could live on $10,000 a year. That's 40,000 ringgit. Comfortably. That was middle class. But I knew that inside the houses, many mental problems, many relationship problems. So don't be fooled by economic success. Sung San Sunim used to travel around the world and say, rich country children have no direction. That time he meant America, Germany, Japan. Now Korea's like that, Malaysia is partially like that, China's getting like that. Then you get a whole generation of unhappy, dissatisfied people. You already have a big mind because you come a place like this on a Saturday. So understand this life is not just my happiness. If you really want happiness, practice, realize our true nature. Then we can make relationships that are true and that are worthwhile and that know how to take care of each other. And that will bring happiness. So, very important. Whether you live with others or not, inside must become independent. If not, then can't complain about having problems. That's a natural process. So this whole world's a single flower, like we've said, and you already understand. It's not just speech. It's not a beautiful idea like in a movie. It's the truth about the world. And if we begin to realize it, then we can take care of our parents, we can relate to our children, we can try to help society, we can help human beings connect with nature in a way that we can survive. Some places they say, let's save the planet. But that's ridiculous. The planet was good for 44 billion years before humans appear, and it will be good until it disappears. The world may change so that humans cannot live in this world, but that's not the world's problem at all. Some other creature will do very well. So we really have to wake up to the truth about this world, and Buddha states very clearly what that is. Not dependent on religion, not dependent on believing this or that. You can believe anything you want, But he saw clearly how the human mind functions and how this world works. So I really encourage all of you to go to places and teachers that can teach you how to practice well, not just so we get what we want, but so that we realize what this true nature is. Then our own natural wisdom will begin to appear, and we'll understand the nature of suffering. And then we'll be able to make relationships that are more true. So I think that was the point of this evening, and I hope we're communicating it.